Where's the bump in front of you?
Look at the bump.
Is it that hard? It's happening, guys. Here we are. Today we're going to be looking at the market overview. One thing that I like is that the market is going to show us whether we're buying or selling. All we have to do is execute. Okay, so let me just start off first by looking at the daily to see if there's been any changes. And I think it's very important of us to always just start off first by looking at the daily closes, seeing that, okay, no, the previous week, the market kept on shooting upwards. So even now on the daily, there's a high chance that we can come at least somewhere here, because this is like, where it actually makes sense in terms of us taking profit with our buys. But, selling, it will just be after it has reached this level. So let's just see what's actually going on when I add up my patterns and stuff. Okay, so what I'm looking at here on the 4-hour chart is this beautiful ascending type pattern on US500. So what happens with this beautiful ascending type pattern is that you can see that the price did break above, it came back, it retested this area nicely, and then it continued going up, and then it done this and then went up. So what I'm seeing now with just the 4-hour is the price obviously is testing here, and when price is testing here, we see price going at least all the way up until here, and once price gets all the way up until here, that's when we can start seeing sales. So I believe that this move can take maybe a day or two, depending on how aggressive the market is, or maybe till Wednesday, because normally what happens is that with the markets, I'm not sure if you guys are aware, but with the markets on Mondays, it can clear around. Mondays are not normally that profitable, but it can move, not that it can move. So there were times where I tell myself I do not trade on Mondays at all, but I noticed that regardless of that, I can still profit on a Monday. And even though there were days whereby I would still take losses on a Monday. So I think this thing of saying maybe I don't trade on Mondays anymore, it doesn't really work that much. Rather for me to just say I won't trade as much on Monday. I'd rather place one or just two trades. I won't, actively be in the markets, trying to, maybe re-enter on certain positions and stuff, because that's when the market is a bit more, well, it didn't yet choose its direction for the week. And during the week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, that's when it would move. So what I'm seeing on the 4-hour is price just coming a bit to the upside up until here, and when price comes up until here, that's when we are going to start seeing that sell. Because what I'm taking from it is obviously is an impulse. This is the start of a correction which started like this, first, second touch also here, and now third touch here, and go down. You can see first touch, second touch, third touch, and as well it will be resistance. Looking at from here, it will be resistance. So that's what I'm actually looking at now on US500. So let me just go to the 1 hour and see if which one is gonna be more profitable, taking this short-term buy or waiting for that longer term sell. So like I did say, this first touch, second touch, so now with our third touch is somewhere here. And with that being said, I'm looking for, because I can see here is our higher high, higher low, higher high. So here is our previous highest low, somewhere here. So I'll be looking to buy when price gets here. I'll be looking to buy, believing that when I go up with it, the risk compared to reward is also fair. I can have it here, but it's a bit too much for me to have a stop loss there. So what I'll do is that I'll just wait for candlestick confirmation, and once it confirms, I'll put my stop loss below that candlestick confirmation, and I'll be coming to take profit maybe somewhere around here, depending on where the stop loss is going to be in terms of the candles. Okay, but we'll just see on our New York session, when the market opens, how aggressive is it moving, what's going on, should we execute, shouldn't we execute and stuff. We'll just have to see that. And once we get here, what will happen is that this will be our first trade in terms of us looking for buys. But once we get here at this resistance, that's when we are now going to start looking for sells. And depending on how the market gets there, because for us to get sells, obviously we need to get some sort of a ascending type. So when you get here and price gives us some lack of momentum to the upside, that's when we are going to be able to get that sell. That's when we'll be able to just go downwards with it. Okay, so this is the first trade that we're looking for on US500. Just by adjusting here and adjusting here, there we go. So normally we just adjust this, be able to spot out. So let me just leave this resistance line, Just remove this is from previous structures. So you can see here we had a resistance. It came back to test as a support. So what I'll do is that I'm more likely to just put this somewhere here, to guide me into showing me what's more likely to happen with this, because I know if it breaks below here, that means price is gonna come back down here. But if it holds and it doesn't break below here, that means I should still continue looking for sells. But now with the US30, it's a bit tricky for me, because why? The reason I say so is because of the fact that I can see that now we are already close to resistance right here. You can see here this resistant area right here, resistant. And as well, if I may just also copy this, you can see that this is almost let me just come here, this right here and right here. Perfect. So you can see that with US30, that move that we're looking for on US500 and US30, it's almost like it's a completed version of it. So it's gonna be a bit tricky of us, like when you're looking to buy US500 and you are looking to sell US30, because that's when it's gonna be tricky. So for now on US30, I think it's gonna be more of a waiting game, but a waiting game in terms of I won't be looking to buy. In fact, it's not giving me any reasons to buy, because yes, maybe if I buy, but where am I gonna take profit? Doesn't make sense for me to take profit there, because this is the resistance. I can't be buying here and looking to take profit. Maybe you understand, because already I can see price has a resistance to break above this resistance area. So it's gonna be unfair of me to just take that buy on this. But on US500 it makes sense. So if I'm looking to buy, I'd rather buy US500. If I'm looking to sell, I'd rather sell US30. But if I sell US30, it's more of price having to just break structures, like price having to just go break below and then maybe retesting or something, then I'll sell it going all the way down to here. That's one of the ways that I'll be selling US30. So let me just also take out my Fibonacci tool to see which level we at right here. If I may use this all the way down to here. Okay, I can see price. Okay, with the US30, I can see we've got this level be our 50 level. It went down here. Let me just see if it actually went to our 38, because I think I'm seeing a pattern on US30. Make sure that I'm capitalizing from the sell that's gonna come, because on the sell, that's where it makes perfect sense, because it actually gave me a perfect number. Like with patterns, I'm not sure if you guys how aware you are with patterns, but with patterns, for me, I love them because they are more specific. I know when I'm selling, I can even send this as a signal right now in terms of sell limit, our stop loss should be at least above here, just a few pips above here, which is maybe somewhere here. And our take profit is gonna be on the 50% level, which is, let me just come back from down here to here on the N3 on the 50% level, which is here. Let me see if this will make sense. Yeah, this is where our first take profit is gonna be. Our first take profit is gonna be here. So it's 3.5%. This already can be sent out as a signal because it's already a valid pattern. It's a valid pattern. We're just waiting for it to trigger. The one that's actually gaining more momentum here is sellers, because sellers, what it does is that's why I say on Mondays you'd see moves such as this. Like on Mondays you'll see moves, let's say the market not really pushing too much, playing around and stuff, but see, let's see if the market starts to commit, you'll see it like maybe either going up or down. But find out that this happened only on one day, like let's say on Thursday and Friday. Find out that this move that took like many days to happen in just literally like a day or two. Do you get that? So that's when you start seeing that, okay, no, the market is more on selling or buying. So with this, I see the market more on selling, but where it's at now, obviously it's now on support, and maybe price can push up here. But I don't like the fact that when price actually does push up, when it goes up, it doesn't go up like it takes long. It takes long. Like you'll be for you to catch like 50 pips going upwards, it can take you long compared to catching 100 pips going downwards. Okay, so this, yes, it did break out, and here we've got the support, and you can see what I mean. Like instead of price just committing and going upwards, you can see what I mean. It's just like moving upwards nicely and slowly, on which you want movement such as this. You want it as soon as, like, let's see if I have this here. If this is a breakout, boom, and it broke out, let's say this is a breakout, I want it to commit and continue going downwards. So with GBP JPY, I think in the longer run we can see price just at least coming up here, and this will just be our first take profit, because I'm looking at it in terms of having this be here, adding up the lower highs, because this is our lowest high, this is our lower high, and this is our next lower high. So I see price coming at least here on the lower high, and if it does break above, then it's a bonus. We can go all that. It means that maybe it's now changing, it's becoming biased. But if it doesn't, then obviously it means the price is going to come here, on which it makes sense even if it doesn't, because now it's just building a bigger pattern. So if I remove this, bigger pattern will just be us having and coming down to this just like this, and it will just be giving us the third touch, first, second, third touch here, and coming down, giving us the next third touch. Either gonna break, go all the way down, continue, because I had this is my take profit for sales, and price has never reached here yet. I remember when we were still here, we were looking to sell, go all the way down with it till here, but it's still now within that ranging area. So it's okay, we understand, but for now we see price coming and shooting all the way upwards till here, and then going back down. But let me just go on the 60 minutes and see if we can benefit from it in the meantime. Okay, for now I see it being too sketchy. It's not too clean, because see, yes, price did break above, it went up, but now look at how it's moving. There's just too much going on, red green. But I think it also makes perfect sense, because this area was some sort of a support, and yet it was a resistance. So now it's almost like it's breaking, because you can see here support, it came, resisted. So now once this candle closed, it's okay, we can take that sell, that buy, can take that buy if it gives us like nice risk compared to rewards and stuff. Can take that buy, have a young pip stop loss depending on what entrance would have it, but I think 30 pip it's gonna be a bit tough. But maybe when I'm entering it from your 15 minutes, if I get it from the 15 minutes, we'll see now in the 15 minutes. And then maybe our first take profit would be here, which is fair, just a few pips, 100 pips, already making 2.7%, but we know that we are coming all the way up until this is where our target is, we coming here. But let me just go on the 15 minute and see. Okay, on the 15 minute, I think one thing that I should do is just be a bit more careful, because this area resistance, so I might buy and then price might resist to break here and go down. So what we should do is that we should just rather wait for price to give us some sort of a support area. Like let's say, for instance, the perfect way that we could have bought was obviously here. As soon as we saw this candle, we could have bought, so we just minimize our risk, put stop loss here, already would be in profits. But one thing that I'm more likely to do in this case is wait for price to break above here and test it as support, because this is the most safest way that I can buy. If I buy now, this is resistant, price might resistant go all the way down against me, but at least if I buy when prices confirm the breakout, then it's fair. It means that now I'm taking a trade that is a strategy that I've been working on, I've back tested, I've seen that it's profitable. Even if it doesn't go in my direction, I know that that's one of the, like, it's how we get our entries, and obviously it means that maybe it wasn't ready at that time, but it doesn't mean that it's never going to be ready. We can catch the trade that's going to be ready, but we are looking to go all the way upwards. So let me see what stop losses is giving us. 60 pips. I think I'm not going to take a 60 pip stop. I'll just look to minimize it no matter how, but I'll just look to minimize it and go all the way down upwards with the GR, because a 60 pip stop loss is a bit too much on GBP GPY. I think maybe on the 5 minutes we'll get it, but it's more like us entering here where price is at and putting our stop loss just below. You see something like this 36 pip, which is much more better, and then going upwards with it. This is much more better. I'm more likely to do this. So we'll just take a look at how candle closes. As soon as candle can close, we'll see. So far, these are the 3 opportunities that I'm seeing can be ready for the day. But for the week, the market is looking clean.
If you guys are gaining value from my YouTube video, I need you guys to do one thing for me. All you need to do is to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and as well turn on the notification bell. I think there is 2 things. Let us add one last thing, which is like this video.